Dominguero is handling it because insurance didn't cover it. They thought we were scamming them, since crashing two of our cars already made no sense. This is literally a car that I had already abandoned, and look at how disgusting it is. You can't even see the logo, it's all just look. Nothing but junk, right Dad? We better just throw it in the trash. This car isn't working either, so we'll take it to the shop. That's the issue. When you don't use these cars, they need constant maintenance. And well, you know, right? And since we've been away for almost 6 months, I don't think I'm going to answer the dark-skinned guy again. Hey, what's up, Lejasa? Many will be completely puzzled about how I flew to Dubai. A few days ago, I was in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and traveling around the United States. Indeed, I had to come here in a rush, almost by private jet, because they called me. I had several problems I needed to solve right away. For those who don't remember, a few months ago, my girlfriend and I had some accidents with my cars. And obviously, since I've been away, I haven't been able to take care of it much. So most of my cars are either abandoned, getting parts stolen, or I'm just handling chaos. I have over 5 cars here in Dubai, so let's go through this step by step, especially since someone crashed another one of my cars. So this Dubai series is going to be short, but it's going to be an update on what's happening with my cars. Because a lot of people are asking, Lord, what happened to the Lamborghini, what happened to the Porsche, what happened to the G, what happened to the Camaro, what happened to the Bentley. We have too many cars and they're expensive and need lots of maintenance. We've come here to handle our pending cases, so let's stop talking and check out the crashed cars. Let's check their progress, since many have asked me. And of course, you don't want to miss this. Come on, follow me. 5 cars, my friends, and we still have to take an Uber. Can you believe it? No, Dad, it's cancelled. But anyway, please, my little girl, are you ready to see the cars?
I'm totally ready.
Let's see. I'm gonna give you a bit of context because honestly, it's been a total mess.
Even in a suit?
Hey Dad, here he comes with his style. Well, basically. Many of you may ask how I own so many cars yet still use Uber. Oh my friends, how can I explain? Let's break it down. For anyone unfamiliar, Haza is like my right-hand brother, partner. I've recorded with him since I started the channel. Here are some early clips. And honestly, he's been helping me a lot with my cars, especially after the accident that Maria Julissa had. So honestly, he really came through. The problem is that, well, there are several cars that I leave parked in different places because I literally don't have enough spaces to park them. And that's a big problem I deal with in a lot of places, not just in Dubai, because obviously, as you can imagine, parking the cars costs a lot of money, right? Honestly. I move my cars to keep them maintained, not just parked. As you can see, I'm going to show you some shots here of how the Porsche is, which will be the first one we're going to pick up. Number 1, when Haza arrived, he found that the Porsche was completely abandoned. It's outside the shop that did my interiors, as you can see, right next to the trash. The suspension is low. It doesn't have any kind of battery. In fact, right now we're on our way to see if we can change the battery. We can start it up to pick up the other projects. But yeah, basically there was a communication problem with one of the employees who was supposed to have it there on display because the Porsche interior is very nice. And it turns out, my friends, that they already fired that worker and left the Porsche abandoned outside. Oh, that's why it's outside the shop where they did my interiors. Let's go see what's happening. I mean, come on. They did some interiors for me that cost me a fortune, and on top of that, they just left it abandoned there. I mean, I don't think that's right. I've always filmed abandoned cars in Dubai, and now it turns out my cars are the ones that are abandoned. When Haza called and said, "Bro, this is your car," I said, well, let's just take an Uber straight there. I don't care about anything else. Let's go straight, so let's go see how the Porsche is. Then we're heading to the G, the one Maria crashed for me. Let's go. Hey, look who's here. Just to clarify, he doesn't work for me. He's just helping out, and Haza always comes through. Normally, he always comes to pick me up at the airport. In fact, I always lend him my cars so he can enjoy them while I'm not here.
Very well.
Always with his little doji?
Yes.
Well, bro, I'm crying on the inside. I'm looking at the car from the outside, and it makes me want to cry. He'd already sent the clips and was now helping me with all the logistics. And just look at this. I mean, what the heck? Just look at this. It makes me want to cry. I don't know why they took out the seat. I think it's because it has 2 batteries. But look, at least it's clear now. I mean, just look at this. The mess that's in the car. It's right here next to the trash. Well, you had already seen that in the pictures, but it's embarrassing. My friends know what is this. I was supposed to leave it here for them to handle. Oh my gosh. Well, inside here it has a battery, which is the one they had to take out to be able to start it. They were supposed to handle it here, but clearly didn't care. No way, this is terrible. I'll have to go in and complain. That's just one of our problems, and we'll get the people involved. Also, the suspension used to go much higher. Someone here approved it. We had to take off the vinyls too. That was, well, for those who don't remember, it was wrapped in vinyl. No, this used to be blue. Let's take a look, but just look at it. I mean, look at how abandoned it is. This is literally a car you would see abandoned. What a damn disgusting car. Good thing Haza has already been here for like 3 hours taking care of everything. Honestly, he really pulled it off. You can't even see the logo anymore. It's all messed up. Look, what a piece of junk. No, man, we better just throw it in the trash. This car had a lot invested in it since the modifications were expensive, but look how scratched up it is. Disgusting. And all because of a problem they had with the former worker. So, well, let's go. Now it's really time to get things done. We still need to pick up the crashed cars in case you're wondering why I'm saying this. About the Porsche, I want to see the Camaro and the G. Is it because to go pick them up? Where do we have a car? They're far from the city, in shops. We were supposed to go with the Porsche, but nothing happened. That's the reality. An eternity later, well, after having talked with the whole team, we've clarified that it was a problem of poor communication. La Paz is going to give me a shock here. To calm down, my friends, honestly. Imagine putting so much effort into a project and then this happens. And that's still the case. First, we need to get the G, the Camaro, and several others, including the Bentley.
By the way, we already told Del Camaro to please test the brakes. I'm not even thinking about touching it until...
Well, you'll explain that when we go to pick it up. But the story, I don't know if you remember that we made the modifications. They were supposed to have it here for their client's exhibition, but since they already fired him, they couldn't contact me for about 5 months. It was out there for 5 months, my friends, but now they're at least washing and polishing it. But they just told me that there's a shock absorber that doesn't work, so I have to go change it, and also that the battery doesn't work. For crying out loud, that's just what I needed. I'm showing you this, not to complain, because you'll just say if you're going to cry, why buy cars? Well, it's so you can see a little that it's not just about buying cars and having them, but they need maintenance. I mean, just look at how the poor car is. I left it in perfect condition. Friends, it's one expense after another, though honestly, it's not that much. But if you add up all the cars we're going to see today, all the expenses, obviously, little by little, it all adds up. So, well, let's make the payment because this doesn't pay for itself. So later people can say, oh, you just rented the cars. I'm also making this video precisely to shut people up. If I had rented it, it wouldn't be abandoned. If I had rented it, I wouldn't have to pay for all of this. Oh, well, friends, it's part of the show. Well, now it finally looks like a decent car. What a beauty. Honestly, I have missed it. We need to give it a good polish. It's clean now, but honestly, it still has a lot of marks. It's great to be back. Let's hear how this W8 sounds. I've honestly been worried about it. Haza was handling it. I brought it here just so they could polish it for me. Let's hear how it sounds. Listen to it. Yeah, I missed it. You can hear it. Honestly, without a doubt, I think this is my favorite interior out of all my cars because all of them are red. Well, except for the G, which actually we're going to pick up right now, and I think everyone is waiting to see the crashed cars. First, let me show you the reality of other projects. I think a surprise change is coming. Now, finally, hey Habibi, we did it. We spent about 4 hours cleaning it and everything, so now we're on our way to the G. Let's see how it is. That's what's important, my friends, after all. So, we're also going to take the opportunity to have them bring us the Bentley, because that's also a long story, which I'll explain to you once we get there. That's right, here's the Bentley. And if you notice what's missing, it was also stolen. And well, here we have it in the same color as the Porsche. Look, Argentinians lost around the world. What's up, man? Go Messi.
No.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Big, my brother.
And well, here we have him. I know that many of you might not know him because we haven't given him much attention. I bought this car for off-roading. We raised the suspension and added a wide body, so I'm unsure if I'll post a major change for it. Because in the end we left and I didn't have time to give it any attention. But look, we put a rear bumper on it here. And well, the story of this car is so I don't leave it sitting around like the others. I took it to another showroom because I wanted to sell it. They also left it abandoned on the street. It's amazing how people leave cars in Dubai. I think what they did is disrespectful since they claim Dubai is very safe. They stole my rear headlight, but we have the license plates inside. But anyway, and as you can hear, I don't even understand. I need to replace both batteries since it's a V12, so the car isn't working. Off to the shop. That's the problem. If you don't use these cars, maintenance is constant. And since we've been away nearly 6 months, not working? Not working? It won't start, as you can see. So, well, time to do some maintenance. Now, I haven't even made it to the G yet, and now there are 2 more projects we were supposed to go, but now they're saying the Bentley is already here. I'll record it for the collection. Let's try to figure it out. They say it uses special batteries. I'll leave some pictures here. Since it's a Bentley, each one costs about $500 to $700. Think about what it's like having cars just sitting there. But it's my passion, that's how it is. And well, from what I'm seeing here, it already has some damage. Look, it looks like it got rusty because it was outside. Also, the problem is that cars suffer a lot here because we're in the desert. So wow, look at this Mustang. I've never seen... I'm about to get run over. Let's calm down. Look, what a beauty. I've never seen headlights like these. If you know the model, let me know. It might be the Bullet. Can you imagine if this was a turbo? No, because of the front part, but it's awesome. I like it. We'll have updates soon about the abandoned Mustang in Moreno. This is a different story. It helped him a lot. What will you give him, bro? It's almost touching the Mustang. No, what I was missing is cancelled. Well, it turns out that it's a good thing we changed the battery on this one because now it turns out we have to start it with this one to be able to move it. So let's see if we can bring it back to life. I laugh so I don't cry, my friends. Well, let's see if it works. Well, in the end, it turned out we couldn't bring it back to life. Also, I think the address doesn't work since I recorded a video I never published. As I took it drifting because it was off-road, and sure enough, I messed up the steering. So there are several things we need to fix and pay for. If we want eccentric videos, we have to invest. And then he never ends up uploading that video, but at least we had a good time. Leave a like if you'd like us to upload this video because we actually took it through the dunes. And it was a really fun mess. Honestly, if you're wondering, I don't know what it's doing. There's a water bottle and 2 batteries. It's tough, right? And it's huge. Let's check if it turns on. Sorry for the mess. Okay, it turned on, it turned on. He got nervous, That's it, Haza. Then I also noticed that they tore this. The problem is that tow trucks treat cars really badly. No, Dad. I'm smiling at them because you have to stay lighthearted. They're just metal after all. We haven't seen the crashed ones yet. This is just what's intact. Imagine the rest. Well, there's also a little scratch here and there. It's all dirty and dusty. Honestly, I don't remember how to drive it now. So let's see. What's up, Habibi? You look good, huh? You look like a sheikh. By the way, for those who say Juan Carlos Domingo Ruiz, look, there he is. This property title is in Arabic and under my name. I know I don't have to, but just to silence some people, right? I mean, these cars can't be modified, and doing what I do to them is a lot. It's not Hasa's. I wish it was. He wants nothing to do with it. So let's take the opportunity to go for a ride before it gets dark. And well, let's see. Because the problem is that these types of cars, when they're not being used, it's worse than the cars we use every day. The glass isn't broken. No, it's just one thing after another. That's what I'm telling you. Then they're going to call me a crybaby. Imagine caring deeply for your cars only for all this bad stuff to happen to them.
I don't know what he said, but he's lying.
It looks like the steering is working now, but it's making a weird noise. No, I don't like that at all, bro. Let me see. What's up? That noise wasn't there before. The problem is that when we had the accident, I had to leave because I had a project and I never came back and never continued the projects. I did everything remotely, but workshops often claim, yeah, it's already fixed when you aren't there. So I picked it up, took it to the store where they were supposed to sell it to me, but then they abandoned it.
We got ripped off.
Which they say is normal, but I don't think that noise is normal. Anyway, let's see what's wrong with it. That will be in another video. If you're interested in the Bentley, I wasn't planning to record it since it's not my focus, but if it catches my attention...
The oil is 0.
It doesn't have oil? Well, obviously it doesn't have gas. Shops usually leave cars without gas. Even if they arrive on a tow truck, I always drop them off like that. It actually doesn't look bad. I don't know how he's driving. But what about that guy? That wasn't there before. I think the same. To top it all off, we just ran out of battery right in the middle of the ramp and the cars can't get through. Well, anyway, that's enough of this. I think we'll see that in another video. Let's go for the G, which is what we were interested in, and for the Camaro. Oh my god. We get out of one mess and end up in another. Oh my god. Well, honk guys, we don't have any battery. So you can see here the level of cars they repair. Big Porsche? Mercedes? Well, we just stayed here stopping traffic. Sorry bro, you're not going anywhere today. Literally, I drive the cars more to take them to the shop than for daily use. What a life, having cars just for this. I'd be better off buying them in Greater Toronto area. Finally, at last. As soon as I pick it up, I can already see that one of the lights isn't working. What happened, Haza? Huh? What happened? See, I'm telling you, today is just not my lucky day. Haza, you're fired. Huh, bro?
This is the part they changed.
Well, it's just that in addition, he was supposed to come pick me up at the airport, but that thing got messed up for him too. That's the coolant, right? Is it the engine for the water? Oh yeah, the light is not working. I don't think I'm going to answer the dark-skinned guy again. Huh? What's up, Haza? Let's see, does it look good, man? Huh? Here's a bit so you can see it. I know many are probably wondering about the light. We'll fix that in a second, but what we wanted to see is the part about the accident. Alright, let's look inside since it was abandoned for hours. Well, in a mess, in what was supposed to be a solution for me and it never was. So wow, no way, this is amazing, huh? I seriously miss this interior. No way, it looks new. Here I have several indicators. This is for the lights. Let's check it out and see if everything's okay. I want to make it clear that the insurance didn't pay me anything. I have to pay for everything out of my own pocket. Let's see, let's make sure no warnings come up. These are lights. Okay, it needs water and everything else is fine. Rolls-Royce roof, ready for the party. I've already brought out all my cars. Rolls-Royce roof. So, well, the interior didn't break, man. It was the rear part. Let's see, because honestly, it was a mess. I mean, if I explained everything, I'd never finish. But anyway, I'll sum it up for you really quickly. For those who don't know, I took off the wheel and put all of this on, which is from Brabus. This is definitely like Keep the Rocket. Here's a picture. Remember, everything on the bumper was damaged and I had to buy it new. We couldn't fix it from scratch, so I had to buy the side parts. It's a complete kit, don't ask why. It wasn't only the rear bumper, no my friends. Additionally, it also had paint issues na, so we had to repaint it completely. Although here, I still see how cracks from Maria's car over here. These are my suitcases. He was supposed to pick me up from the airport and he had, well, suitcases that I have at his house. Hasa is like a brother to me and holds several of my suitcases since we had to go to the airport. Only cool things here. These waters aren't mine. They must be Hasa's. I mean, it's heavy, but look, it's just awesome. And also remember that a tire broke too. And you have no idea how hard it was for me to get the tires. I couldn't find the rims, so I bought 4 different ones. They were silver, not this color, so I had to paint them. So now it's a different design. I don't know if you remember. Sorry about the dust, but we're here in the sand, so now I had to change all 4 rims. Actually, fixing the axle cost me a lot more than I expected because it's the body to travel. Well, it looks like the light is working now. Sorry you can't see very well because it's nighttime. Just look at that, how cool. Oh man, and remember, it's lifted and all that stuff.
So, well, is everything okay?
Very good, very good.
That's all that. You nailed it, huh? Excellent service hired. So, well, we're going to go test it because, well, you guys are seeing it really fast. Here, it looks like it's already fixed. But man, ordering the parts was something else. It took me, well, 4 months. It took us because Hasa handled the operation. But I had to look for the parts and send them from Germany. Honestly, I put a lot of effort into it. When I needed new rims, they wouldn't sell just one, so we had to buy the whole set. Brabus parts are also hard to find. They sold you the entire kit, not separate parts. It was a real headache, but now we have it, and that's what matters. And well, now that we're fueling up this beast, I'll take the opportunity to show you the rear a bit. Look, just see how much it changes, right? That is back, my friends. It was time to put it to the test.
Honestly,
I mean, you forget how your cars drive. Like, it literally, we left 5 months ago and I didn't remember how awesome it drives. Remember, that one is pretty lifted and it's pretty rough. So honestly, the G63 is the truck of my dreams. It's one I've always wanted. And customizing it the way we have it customized, for me, is a dream come true. And it's great that we already have it ready, because honestly, it was a real pain to find the parts and to find a good, trustworthy shop to do it. All that's left is to pick up the big girl. Are you excited?
Yeah, I honestly don't know how it's going to go.
Right, Domingo didn't eat all the chicken since Maria doesn't speak English. It's not just that here in Dubai there are many Pakistanis and Indians and they don't even speak.
They don't speak, they just say, okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Dominguero is handling it since insurance wouldn't cover it, thinking we tried to scam them after the accident. 2 of our cars. It doesn't make sense. To keep this short, we'll save that for another video. You know what to do.
Subscribe and click the little bell. Share what you'd like to see in Dubai in the comments.
We still have the Lambo and Camaro, so I'm sure you want to see that. Stay tuned and like for the next video coming in a few hours. I love you all and hope you're as happy as we are to return to our projects. See you later, family.